2021, and welcome to my channel, What the Fuck Banking. We're gonna do basically some indicators on what the price action did today. For today, we were down basically 118 points. So let's go for indicators. Um, Honestly, I don't know on the Omicron variants, how the market reacts is basically on that news. That's why we had this basically um, flow from up to 4,652 to basically 4,510. So basically, we fluctuated 3% today, being from up about 1.9% to being basically down 1.2 on that news, and also on inflation and fear, uncertainty, and doubt on the testifying of Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen before Congress. Anyway, when we go to indicators, I like for everyone to see that in the short time frames, we might sometimes predict. I usually like to predict overbought levels more than oversold, because indicators such as the momentum indicator, I don't know why, but I find that basically more attractive to use when we are gaining points on SP, Nasdaq, or Dow. Anyway, we basically had a fun weekend. We're basically down about 348 points for the almost weekly. When we go to about the day, we can see basically how we trended down on the SMAs all day. Well, not all day, but basically since 1 p.m. we didn't get close to breaking that point, only leading up to 3 p.m. and a half, that we basically had the news, I think, on the Omicron variant. Anyway, let's go to indicators. I like to use indicators. We basically right now are bullish for the SPY. Based on what I'm saying, well, based on indicators, we're being extremely oversold in the shorter time frames. Okay, I'm gonna use the 5-day better. I like the 5-day time frame better. It predicts better movements than the 1 day. We're basically being oversold a lot today. You can see that the Williams is basically, it's ice cold. We got also the slow stochastic indicating that the odds are better for a bull trend than a bear trend. And the CCI also is indicating that the price is not comfortable at the moment, with the relative strength index also indicating that the price is not comfortable at the moment. So the thing is, when we go to longer time frames, I like to use that. When we go to these longer time frames, we can expect certain patterns to play out. So I have been using the Williams, and the Williams on the 2 year is basically saying that we might have a bull trend ahead. Also, the slow needs to catch up. I also like to use the slow because it might indicate further down movement or further up movement, but it almost follows to the cue that the slow might go down to that level. Usually when it's all on that way, all the way there almost. So it will usually tends to and then rally back up. Also, we're seeing the fast stochastic being oversold. That's basically what we're seeing, oversold levels. Williams also indicating oversold levels. MACD, that's the only thing I'm not liking. The MACD, we're basically doing a big cross down at the moment. And also CCI also not liking this price action. But anyway, that's the thing I don't like. The MACD basically getting wrecked at the moment. mixed up with the momentum patterns being also down a lot. So I'm we are basically in a gray area where if we go down a lot lower than basically we got to the Evergrande FUD moment, we can basically have a crash or basically a correction and then move back up. But at the moment, we're basically trending on news, also trending on, we have the upcoming catalyst or negative catalyst on Evergrande having a bond repayment due this Friday, and also we have the government shutdown FUD at the moment. When we go to overlays, I like to use it so we can find support, and also we can find some resistance lines that we need to basically accomplish for we getting above a bull trend or basically getting some movement up or down. So I like using the parabolic SAR. That's the main thing I like to use for resistance lines mixed up with the Bollinger Bands. And we can see that we're basically on a downtrend. You can see the dots on the parabolic SAR basically developing up. And also you can see that it fall down from that resistance line and it basically went through with it. So at the moment, we have indicators to say, hey, we're gonna rally up, or at least we're gonna have we're gonna blow out some of the gasoline we have been reserved. Cause honestly, I got the RSI so low that I might I don't know go up 4% on a week just because I like it. Okay, that's what I think the market is basically saying. At the same time, we have that the market is basically like, hey, we have some major things going on. We have Omicron. We don't know the full implications on Omicron, regardless of what the doctor is saying or regardless of the symptoms, because we haven't experienced it yet. And since we are so reopened at this moment, a slowing growth for basically the stock market or United States is not going to be good if we need to basically do some lockdowns or partial lockdowns in some cities. That's gonna bring fear. Okay, that's why the market is like getting ahead of itself. And also, the other thing that I'm watching on is the Evergrande thing. I know that Evergrande has made the payments. Somehow they made the late payments, but if we have the bankruptcy of Evergrande at the moment, we're gonna have a major correction based on the weakness we're seeing. And also, I can say that if we have a government shutdown, we can also see a major correction now. If you go to the SPY and you check, we're basically on almost 40% up in 2 years. In 1 year, we are up at about 23%. Can you imagine something that on Friday government shut down or Evergrande falling and we suddenly lose 10% of the 23% that we have had on gains? That will implicate a little bit on a correction on move, and I like that because we have been basically rallying up. Inflation has been going up. The dollar needs to go up at the moment. We need to get the strength on the dollar. And funny thing that I'm seeing is that we have had this week basically we have seen FUD in waves. Okay, why do I mean that? Okay, let's go to the 5 day, and you can see that on the 5 day we will see up, down, up, down, up, down. Looks like I'm not having internet at the moment. Let me check a moment. Uh, okay, I got it now. Um, we're seeing up downs, but relative to this movement, we're seeing lowers, high lowers. Okay, let me check again. Lower lows and lowers highs. We have seen that. That's the thing that I don't like about this movement, regardless of indicators saying that might be bullish. So we have had this trend at about a week or so, where we have that uptrend, and then we get that sell-off on that day. It was because of the Evergrande news, and we have the other sell-off based on Omicron variant concerns, and then we have also the sell-off from Jerome Powell saying that transitory inflation, the transitory word for inflation, might might not be so transitory to say that word, right? We had that also dip, and then we got that little bit of relief rally, and then we also got smacked down due to the first Omicron variant, and also the inflation and debt ceiling that we're gonna have ahead on these upcoming 2 weeks. So that's my thing. That's what I'm keeping my eye on basically a spy. I want to see that this Friday confirmation that this Friday will be bullish. That's the only thing that I want for spy. We have the oversold levels. We have the inflation. I would like the inflation, but in theory, if you have inflation, the market tends to go up unless the dollar or the currency starts to rally back up, and then you will have a little bit of money flowing to the dollar. Anyway, so that's the only thing that I would like to keep watching on. Basically, getting Friday bullish again. That's the only thing I want. Okay, I want all my doubts settled for Friday. That's the only thing, and that's the thing I think the the market is watching on. And also, you got from Monday. At the moment, we don't have any catalyst, but we may have inflation coming up, inflation numbers and readings for November. And we have had reports have had that we have had basically November being the highest inflation seen on a Thanksgiving dinner. So maybe inflation is not gonna go down, or or basically it's gonna get flat to basically October. But if we have some type of inflation, hey, we have inflation 0.3% up, we might see a rally for the dollar. A rally for the dollar is not a rally for